or we will be looking at Max Kanter's list, which Max was sitting in 3rd place at the event, finishing 3rd overall at the Super Major. So let's take a look at his version of the Green Tide, which is different to how I do it. Oh, I messed up with that bottom right there where it says vehicle. That looks ugly. That's a kill rig, just so you know. I messed that up. You guys fight me. So we have Boss Snickrop, 3 Painboys, 3 Warbosses, 2 Weirdboyz, and then that vehicle tab. I didn't realize I jumped off the screen. That's a kill rig down there. Yes, that's a kill rig. You know, I'll show you just so that people don't think I'm lying, right? Let's look at his list from BCP. I'm going to jump past all this other stuff and just show you there's the kill rig. So yes, he brought a straight up kill rig on his undefeated Green Tide list, which I love to see. As we know, the kill rig giving the +1 strength or possibly lethal, random las cannon, the fact that it can auto hit you. Very funny that he decided to bring this and say, I'm going to either stack strength on the wall or I'm going to be giving different units different thresholds for the kill rig strength, which is crazy. Then he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 20-man units of Boyz, followed by a 10-man unit of Boyz. I like to see that. 3 units of Gretchen, followed by 2 Storm Boyz. So I like that he has more units for scoring potential, screening his backfield so you can't get behind him. Even the 10-man boy unit feels kind of good. Not really sure about the second Weird Boy unit. Seems like he just kind of fell out of points there. And the kill rig would just caught me off guard, to be honest. I was like, this dude straight up brought a kill rig on here, right? So let's take a look at Max's path to victory. Starting with his first matchup, we had the World Eaters. So we have World Eaters with the Demon Prince with the Hells of Brazen Fire. I think he halves damage and he has a 2+ armor save. Then he has another World Eater Demon Prince with the Berserker Glaive, followed by a Jackal unit, 1, 2, 3 unit of 8-bound, which are the basic 8-bound. The nice thing about them is they also have a aura of reroll 1s to wound. That's kind of funny. Then 1, 2 units of Exalted 8-bound, simply the 3-man, kind of more anti-tank versions, and then 2 Forge Fiends. So Forge Fiends have no great targets into his list, as he doesn't even have Mega Knobs, and all of these are pretty much hoping they run into an Orc Boy unit. You don't roll enough 5-up invulns and they kill you, right? And just all they can do is kill you on this list. He has nothing else. It's straight up, I'm gonna stat for stat run at you. Something like Berserkers might be actually have been a little better in that profile, and in that, in hindsight, in some ways, just for straight pure volume of strength 6. But you know, 8-bound still do good. They still have a good amount of attacks. It's just simply not enough attacks to reliably punch through multiple, you know, Green Tides for that example, and they are getting clapped back, right? On the response, they are dying to power claws. They are dying to straight volume of punches. They're taking 4-up armor saves. And the boys are just like, well, I have, as we've seen, he does have 3 units of Gretchen on this list as well, and a 10-man unit of Boyz. So he can straight up front load, then he can jump into the backfield and charge into a Forge Fiend. So there's definitely potential that he just kind of outmaneuvered this guy and survived him on a stat check. So next he went into his second matchup, which was Magnus did everything wrong. So this is a Grey Knights list where he just hates Magnus for some reason. So he brought Brother Captain Stern, different Castle and Crow, so there's definitely going to be some Purifiers, and then Kaldor Drago, followed by a Brotherhood Librarian and a Grandmaster Dread Knight. So he is very character heavy, not in love with that. 1 big unit of Terminators, a Strike Squad Marine, a Purifier Squad, followed by 3 Nemesis Dread Knight. As you can see, just simply not enough bodies, right? Purifiers being able to hit you with anti-infantry 2+, even with Crow giving them an additional shot. These guys are hitting on 2+. So even though it looks like it's going to auto hit you based off the Purifying Flame wording of the weapon, it is not a flamer. It is they have to shoot for it and hit on 3s. They only get their +1 to hit if they're below strength of their unit, I believe, or below half strength. So if you're going into one of these Grand Knight players and they try to purify you with +1 to hit, which did happen to me, they simply can't do that unless their own unit has taken damage, I believe. So, and other than that, he doesn't have the volume, right? Just 1 big unit of Terminators. That's what he's banking on, right? That's really all that he's banking on, and you're banking on 110 boys just swarming him and then Grot swarming after and not letting him score any primary, filling up all of the backfield and all of your mid-table with the fact that he can't drop within 3 inches, and then he has to go toe-to-toe for you and lose on primary. Boom. That's really just how that goes. Very heavy on the characters on that list. You do have to know their abilities, though, right? You have to know that you can have to draw the reaction move out of that. Now, we're going to talk about something that everybody loves to hate, which is the Wolf Jail for the Stormlance Thunderwolves, right? So let's pull out a couple of their data sheets real quick, just in case people aren't familiar with it yet. We have Logan Grubnar, everybody's favorite Grimnarian. So he does have, each time this model destroys an enemy unit, he gains a CP. Cool for CP. He does have a sweep attack, you can call it, for 10 attacks, hitting on 2, strength 6 -2. That is kind of nice into Boyz, but really he has his own personal wall that applies to the army, but only he can call it, is that it's once per battle. In your charge phase, which is weird, this model can use ability. If he does, until the end of the turn, you can reroll charges made for Adeptus Astartes units, and then each time an Adeptus Astartes unit makes an attack, you can reroll the hit roll. So it's an army-wide oath and reroll charges ability that he gets, which means he gets very reliable profiles into those Space Wolves, right? So then another unit we have to be aware of here is that he does have ORK the Slayer, but he has 1, 2, 3 Wolfguard battle leaders and a Wolf Lord. The Wolf Lord is their captain version, right? The battle leader is like a lieutenant. So what does the battle leader do? The battle leader gives the unit lethal hits, as you can see right here. When he's leading a unit, they have lethal hits. He also has once per battle in your opponent's shooting phase. After they finish making an attack, if he was targeted, he can move D6 inches, right? So if your kill rig doesn't shoot at him, that's not going to happen. What it is that this just gives you, he stacks his offensive potential of being able to run up with, we'll say, a power fist that can get up to damage 3 because the Thunderwolf cavalry have a built-in +1 damage on the charge. So that's really, really nice. And Stormlance itself having Hunter's Instincts, as is what the enhancement are they bring on this, is that if the bearer unit is used strategic reserves for the purposes of setting that unit up on the battlefield, treat the current battle round as being 1 higher than it is. That means you can come in turn 1 with strategic reserves with this unit. It's really, really annoying, especially because they're going to have scouts to push you back on that. And they have an auto advance 6, I believe. So they can auto advance 6 and charge. They have reactionary moves. So if you want to counter charge them, they can run away from you. And if you shoot at them, they can move away from that as well. So it is a bunch of different compounding effects. Then he has a Bloodclaw unit, 1 Rhino, 2 units of assault, or 3 units of assault intercessors with jump packs. Really depends on the Space Wolf player. Sometimes they'll use them, hope that they can get some mortal wounds off on a charge. Sometimes they'll use them score or screen counter charges, which is a smart way to use them with orcs. Then 1, 2 units of scouts, followed by 1, 2, 3 units of Thunderwolf cavalry, and then Vindicators. So Vindicators are awesome into vehicles, but they're also awesome because they have blast and they can shoot in combat. So they can shoot their blast weapon, but in combat per their data sheet ability. They also have a built-in 2-up armor save, so they can actually withstand a bunch of boys trying to punch them, winning them on 6s, even if you're re-rolling wounds. So this is definitely a problematic matchup for most Green Tide lists. This does come to good generalship, knowing that they can fall back and charge, right? And so you have to screen with some of your smaller chaff units, counter charge the Thunderwolf unit, kill it best you can, each turn, get enough bodies on the objectives with with prop pile-ins and consolidates, box out those big bases of Thunderwolf calves because they do have a respectable amount of OC and they have enough punches that they can straight up punch through a unit of Orc Boys. So this is by no means an easy matchup for even a Green Tide list, but having something like a kill rig to push your boys into wounding them on, because you guys have T6, you can double stack on the wall and hopefully you're wounding them on 4s, and then on another unit you can reroll wounds. You might be able to get some more damage off on there, but just be aware they can obviously reduce AP by 1, whatever that strat was called. I'm having a brain fart, sorry. So this is a difficult, respectable list that he had to go into in his 4th matchup, but he did end up winning that with a 20-point win. So the Thunderwolf player might have just got overly aggressive and ran at him and not really respected him or screened enough counters and just got picked up. So very surprising to see that happened. Was that, did I skip or was that actually the matchup? Because I might have just jumped past it. Oops, I think I just jumped past it. Yes, I did. Because it was the second list was Magnus the Grey Knights, yep. And then the third list, it was the third list. Yeah, it was the third list. My bad. And his third list was the 11-point win. That's what I thought. I was like, man, what the heck? Yeah, so he definitely almost lost this game, which goes with my history with this as well. Very losable game going into the Thunderwolf list. I will just say that you must also be aware of time management in this matchup, as both of you are doing a lot of pre-measuring, talking things out, being aware of rules, and both of you are throwing a booty load of dice and a booty load of save. So you got to be careful in this matchup that you don't simply time out. And that could be a reason why, you lost for that, right? So shout out to Max Kanter for overcoming the Wolf Jail, because that's definitely a difficult matchup. Sorry, I clicked the wrong matchup for what I showed. But yeah, his third round, Thunderwolf Cavs, 11-point win. Very, very close, very, very difficult matchup. Then we go into Leagues of Voltan. Now, he did get a 20-point win on this, as Leagues of Voltan don't have enough activations reliably, and the fact that you can Blood Surge, what version of Orcs of Blood Surge is getting closer to them, they really hate to see that. Seeing something like a Ruckus Warcaller so they can jump on you as well, or we can jump on them, is very problematic for them as well. So let's take a look at their list. We have Iron Here Champion, Call, 1 unit of Warriors because you can split them up, 1, 2 Sagittars, a Berserker unit, a big unit of Hearthguard. They do have their sustain too, I will say, and they're going to get +1 to wound and all that if they put it on an oath target with their version of grudge target. But it's one of those things that they're paying 300 and something points and the character 320 points plus the character almost 400 points to try to delete one of your boy mob units. Then he has the Iron here, 2 units of 5-man units, and then 2 fortresses, which get almost no value into a green tide, as they're not going to just have enough, good targets on that. They do have respectable shooting, as there's not extremely voluminous shooting, and they're big and slow and blocky, so you can tag them, and then all of a sudden you're not really worried about them anymore. The issue is, don't let them park this on the objective and box your green tide out, because the Terminators can still get out and just make like an actual bulwark to stop you from getting on the mid table. But it would require the Leagues of Voltan player to go first and move up quick enough to do that without just simply being countercharged. So it's easier said than done. And then he has 1, 2, 3 units of the Pioneers. I like that. I like that he brought in 3-man units. But simply, as you can see, between being able to Blood Surge, regenerate closer, feel no pain now, they don't have enough activations or bodies on this to really deal with something like a green tide. Not to mention that we can simply jump at them and really ruin their whole day by just tagging their land fortresses and their Sagittars across the table. And how much is a booty load? I'll answer that at the end of the stream. Then we have his final matchup for Max Kanter was Chaos Space Marine with the Slaves of Darkness rule. I don't care about the last name, sorry. So he has Abaddon the Despoiler, Chaos Lord, Sorcerer and Terminator armor. Oh, which detachment was this? Sorry. Slaves of Darkness detachment. So Abaddon, Chaos Lord, Sorcerer and Terminator armor, 1 Cultist mob, 1, 2, 3 units of Legionnaires, 1 unit of Plague, 2 units of Plague Marines, Chaos Biker, a Chaos Predator Destructor, 2 of them, a Vindicator, Forge Fiend, 2 Rhinos, and 2 Nurglings. This was very much a I hope I stand here by Abaddon and get shots off, and then I have just enough OC and battle line units to run up the table and play primary. That's really what it looks like. It's kind of like an old-fashioned kind of gunline TSM list. Simply wouldn't work, I would just say, into Green Tide. I don't mean to make it boring, but when you look at his kind of list of having max amount of boys, 2 different boys that can jump, 30 Gretchen essentially that can move up the table and still play primary and screen his whole backfield from anyone getting behind him. It is a straight up, I'm going to walk towards you, regen, Blood Surge, get close enough, charge anything you put near a primary objective, and then just straight up body you. So that's pretty much what happened. You got a 20-point win right there into the CSM list. He tried to gunline him. If you enjoyed the clip, check out the full video here. If you'd like to see more tactics, click here.
Let's get stuck in, lads!